ways, and I appreciate you sharing the day with us. So we're going to go ahead now and get started with our first Spark session of the day, Alex Center. I know, I love Alex Center. Alex, I'm going to try to read his bio, but I told Jackie I may go rogue, but I'll try not to. Alex is a Brooklyn-based designer and founder of the branding company Center. Prior to the launch, he spent 11 years working for the global beverage leader, Coca-Cola, where he led the strategy and design vision for the brands Vitamin Water, Smart Water, and Powerade. In his personal time, he enjoys rooting for the New York sports teams that wear orange and blue, eating and Instagramming delicious meals, and spending time with his wife, Jackie DeJesus, and their 0 kids and 0 pets. Alex, how many years, what is this, how many times have you been on the house stage? Where's he at? I've lost you. Look, I'm like, oh, what is this?
This is my 5th.
5th year? Yes. So Alex, we just keep bringing him back, and he's so engaging and just has such personality. So I'm thrilled to have him back this year. He's most proud of the fact that he was able to convince the prettiest girl in his college computer lab to get married and live her life with me. Her talk is at 4:15. That's a shameless plug. Shameless plug for her talk. I know, I love it. And he's most excited about his New York Mets, who are 17-10. I updated, thank you. And definitely not going to break his heart and lose in dramatic fashion at the end of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alex Center.
How Design Live, day 3. How are we doing? That was really bad. Sounded hungover. Can we do it one more time? Day 3, How Design Live, how are we doing? So much better. My name is Alex Center, and I run a 5-day-old design studio in Brooklyn, New York. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is a big moment for me. You see, I came to this conference for the first time in 2013, and I walked into the auditorium, and I walked into a room just like this, and I thought, I must be in the wrong place. There's no fucking way that a graphic designer is gonna talk to this many people. Is Beyonce doing graphic design now? And in that moment, I made it my goal, a mission, to one day speak on the main stage at How Design Live. And if I could do that, then I would have finally made it. So please, give it up for me.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there.
Please, give it up for me. Thank you. You did it, Alex. You followed your dreams and you made it. You did it. You're a successful designer. And you see, this journey didn't start 5 years ago. It actually started 20 years ago in a small suburban home in Oceanside, New York, where I found Microsoft Paint. And it was there that I found out that maybe one day I could be a successful designer. And I went to school in Buffalo, New York, and I shoveled out my car, and I walked to class uphill both ways to learn graphic design. And when I got my first job, I spiked my hair like Pauly D, and I said, I will work late nights. I will say yes to anything that you want me to do. If we could build an enhanced water beverage company called Vitamin Water to the point where people would enjoy it and select it from the shelves, then maybe they would look at me and think, wow, that's a successful designer. And when Coca-Cola came and bought it for $4 billion, I didn't run away or leave like a lot of my colleagues. I still had more to learn. And I stayed. I didn't stay for a couple years. I stayed for a full decade. A decade of meetings and conference calls and decks and meetings about decks. I wanted to soak it all up like a sponge. I worked with criminals, drug dealers, and Brian Collins, the most dangerous of them all. I retouched Jennifer Aniston's face no less than 100 times. It's a beautiful face to sell water. And when I went to the Powerade brand team, I said, please, please, let me redesign your packaging. If people could see my logo at the World Cup, 1 billion people, maybe they would sit there while they watch on their TVs and think, wow, that must have come from a successful graphic designer. And that's why I charmed and fell in love with a woman. Because I knew that not behind, but next to every successful man is a 10 times smarter, 10 times stronger, and 10 times better woman. Another shameless plug, please go see her talk about her amazing company at 4:15 today in Ballroom A. And so I took everything that I had learned, every piece of information and brand building, and I put it into a 350-page book, a literal brand Bible about my time and the brand that I had built at Vitamin Water, so that people in the future that work for Coca-Cola would see it maybe one day on someone's desk and think, that came from a successful graphic designer. And I found all of the courage, all of the strength that I had to leave that job, to leave my comfortable design director position at the Coca-Cola Company and put on this sweet, sweet jacket that my mom designed for me and said I could do this on my own. I quit my job and I walked away and started my own studio. I called it Center. We have an Instagram. I'd like for you to follow it. And that's why I'm working with people like Cos Marte, people who are making a difference in the world and in the community. Cos spent 5 years in federal prison for selling drugs, and not just a little drugs. He was making a couple $1 million a year selling drugs. And when he got out, he wanted to start a fitness company where he would hire only formerly incarcerated individuals to teach the classes. And I thought, who better for our first project? And so we designed stationery and logos, T-shirts and hats, spaces, more sweatshirts, sweatshirts in spaces, and jackets with logos on the back. I like jackets with logos on the back.
A new gym has
Can we get sound?
opened in New York called Kanban. A new gym has opened in New York.
Come on, we can do better than that, right? I've waited my whole life for this moment. Can we get a little sound? Oh.
A new gym has opened in New York called Khan Body, which looks like a prison and features workouts developed by former inmates. So you might want to shower at home.
Do you know how awesome I thought that was? I freaked out. Only a successful designer would have their first branding project mocked on Saturday Night Live by the incredibly handsome Colin Jost. And all of that has led me here to this moment right now in front of you. The bright lights, the big stage, 2 floors of people. What the fuck am I gonna say? Better better be worth it. Maybe I should be a graphic design Tony Robbins and help people unleash their inner dragons. And maybe I'll do seminars minus the sexism. Maybe I'll film myself all day long and make a podcast. Tell people that they can crush it, like Gary Vee. Maybe I'll start a cult and have everyone wear yellow or orange. That would be really cool. Grow a great beard. Maybe I'll write a book about failing. Because failing, we all know, is the key to success. Everyone writes a book about failing. Fail hard, fail fast, fail quick, fail often, fail, fail, fail. But I'm sorry. I don't have a secret. I don't have anything that I can tell you, and I'm sorry that's not what you want to hear. And I'm sorry to this guy and many others that DM me and say, "You did good. How did you do this?" And I don't know how to help you find your passion or your purpose. I don't even know my purpose. But I know that failing fast and hard is not how I got here. I think it's a quick way to glorifying something and to make people care about nothing. You see, if you're comfortable with failing, then I think that you don't care. So, sorry, Zuckerberg. Stick to stealing people's identities and selling us ads. Because I don't agree with you. Don't move fast and break things. There's only one thing that I can credit for my success. And it's the fact that I care. I care a lot. And you can do this too. Each one of you in the room today can start today. You see, in every room that I was in every meeting, every conference call, I thought you had to be the smartest, the most handsome, the most talented person. And I thought that was my way to be successful. And in every single one of those meetings, there was a guy that was that. And unfortunately, it wasn't me. I was the shy, chubby, very awkward, red-faced, afraid to talk guy in the meeting. I get really red quickly. It's a bad sign that you're uncomfortable. And so I decided that I would take a different approach, a different way. Be the guy in the meeting that showed that he cared the most. And you see, we live in a world where it's almost frowned upon to care. We live in a zero fucks given world where actually admitting that you care is often seen as a sign of weakness, or showing genuine passion or emotion about something is seen as pathetic almost. When you're on a date, act nonchalant. Don't text her right away. Take a couple of days to do that. Interviewing for a job, don't tell anyone. Keep it down. Who knows what could happen? In this world of high pressure and fast-moving things, right? It's much easier to say, fuck it. I love your laugh, Debbie. And the truth is, I give all the fucks. I always have. And I'm not afraid to admit it. And I owe every ounce of my successful design career to the fact that I openly and unapologetically give a shit. I had this jacket overnighted today so I could wear it on stage. Any person in this room that emails me and says, I'm in Brooklyn, I want to do lunch, I'll probably go to lunch. And then I'll go on Google and Yelp and 10 other apps, and I'll try to find the best tacos in Brooklyn, because I care a lot about tacos. And you see that caring is not the same as hard work or hustling. And this is something that I want to make very clear. We've all had bosses or worked with people that work really hard, but they do not care. And there is a very big difference. You see, caring makes other people want to care. Caring is contagious. And when you're the guy in the room that openly and proudly cares, it makes other people want to care themselves. And people want to work with and for people that show that they care. I have found the way to have more productive meetings, more happy staff. The way to do it is to show how much that I care. It gives people purpose and meaning. It makes them feel better. And it convinces them to do things that they might otherwise not to do or approve. And we as a society, we root for people like Rudy, not because he works hard, but because he was obsessed with making the team, and that's all he ever wanted. And so we root for those people, and we support them. We support them with our wallets. We buy things that are born from care. And as designers, the details, the small moments, the craftsmanship, those are our ways to show the people in the world that we care. Those small moments on a Budweiser can, designed by Tosh Hall at JKR, those are the little moments and the experiences on that packaging that make me want to pick it up and think, damn, I want to drink this. And so here today on this stage, I ask you to care about the people as much as the work that you make. When I was at Coca-Cola, I worked with teams and companies and agencies. And all of the work that we did undoubtedly was better when we had true and honest human relationships and connections. And that starts with caring. And care about yourself. Number one, put on a jacket with your own name on the back. And here's the thing that I noticed with my fellow millennials, is we don't always do that. We love to self-deprecate. We love to say how big of a mess we are. Oh, I found my place of birth. It's Mistake Island. Ha ha ha. And I know why people do this, because it makes them feel cool. And every single time I see one of these things, it makes me sad. Because we have an obligation to shine bright. And for years, okay, that one's funny, that one's funny. And so for years, designers, we've been trying to get a seat at the table. And we are living in miraculous times. We have more power, bigger stages, more influence, more impact than ever before. This is our moment. The ability to change the world through the work that you guys all do has never been more important. We have an obligation and a responsibility to shine bright in this moment. We need you. The design world needs you. The world needs you. So don't move fast and break things. Take your time. Go slow. And please, just be brave enough to care. Give a shit. And who knows, maybe one day you might just become a successful designer just like me. Thank you.